Now,
And I was drunk.
what I always try to do with this podcast is I try to figure out where things began. Now, I looked into your Facebook. I saw a video of you playing, and you looked like a much younger, black-haired teenager playing in a park. But your background, all I know about you is you like piss, which I'm down with. I'm game. I understand. The girlfriend's laughing in the back. But so, let's go back to the beginning. Before...
is there any way Lucas could get...
My original band, I started a band when I was 15.
He basically did
Originally it was the Japanese businessman. And then
Hey, shut the fuck up! We're filming!
I was in the Drunken Idiots for like 10 years.
I was also in a band called Nectar for a while. Then I was in the Old Olympics. Then I was in Hex and Bane. And then I started this band.
The Drunken Idiots were better than all those bands.
So you and Kyle of Bad Blood, who played tonight, are both spawns
We were both
of the Old Olympics.
Yeah, well, he replaced me.
Oh!
Trevor kicked me out of the band because I started. That's a whole other story. We don't want to get into. Oh, my back. So okay, some of the. So Gutter Blues was originally supposed to be an Old Olympic song that was written by James Cassidy.
Why are you laying on Karen?
And those recordings kind of started SmashTV. So originally they were for Trevor, and then Trevor of Old Olympics, and then he kind of fucked up and made James Cassidy hate him because he's kind of a dick.
What are you talking about?
That's the origins of the fucking band. And then, so James Cassidy wrote it for Old Olympics.
I went into a
But
bar.
then after that band broke up, I was like,
and down with these two guys.
I was like, let me do
and then I was like, I know a
let
drummer.
me do the vocals for that song. No, we're before that. So let me do the vocals for Gutter Blues. So I did the vocals for Gutter Blues. We did that song, and then I pitched that song to you guys, and you guys were like, this song's dope. Let's start that band.
We should have renamed the band. Really.
Why? The band name is great.
No, the band name is great.
There was no one else in the band.
There's nothing wrong with the band. Anyways.
That high school band. Now I saw it. You were playing a park or something?
That was actually
What
a leftover crack cover band called Leftover Weed. So I
a
had
little bit soft.
I had this girlfriend and she killed herself, and we did a memorial. This is the story.
Yeah,
and we did a memorial show for her, and I'm like, what better way to honor her memory than by playing "Suicide" by Choking Victim?
Okay.
So I got this band together. Ryan Habit.
TV.
He's in Coal Moon right now.
What is he talking about?
There's old stuff. He's talking about the park show. So that was a leftover crack band cover band called Leftover Weed. That those shots are from. Yeah, I was very young.
I'll take your leftover lead.
Now with that, you said you were part of Old Olympics before. Were there any other bands between that, Old Olympics, and...
Yeah, well, after Nectar, I was in a band called Hungrier the Damned with a man called Donnie and Donnie Anderson. He's in Knife Manual right now.
Suck it, Donnie.
I was also in Matt Jew was in that band. God rest his soul. He's dead now. He had an overdose. Ryan Evil was in that band. Yeah. So I was in that band for a little bit. And then, I took a break from playing music, and I was an animator for a while.
Yeah. You were not.
Yeah, I know. I have a degree in animation.
Mickey's been back there quiet.
I actually believe that.
Before this, what was there bands? Were you playing? What
Yeah, I mean, I started my fucking...
What was your first punk show you ever went to, Mickey?
Funny enough.
What was Mickey's first punk show you
True
ever
story.
went to?
It was, I think you guys were
Yeah.
playing. It was fucking...
Mickey's first punk show was Drunken Idiots, was it not?
Drunken Idiots, and it was Piggy. And
Old Piggy?
That was an awesome show.
Yeah. It was a good one. I started my bass playing career in Therapeutic Cum Shot, and
Keys?
like our last like actual show in Port Alberni was here at the Rainbow Room, back when it was an all ages show before it was like a bar. So it's kind of cool to come back, and it looks the same somewhat.
So Jesse from fucking Unlabeled, I was talking to him, and I'm like, do you know any good bass players? And he's like, yeah, there's this good bass player. He was in this band called Eat the Rich. And I,
Hate
or
the rich.
whatever.
Eat the rich is Lemmy.
Eat, hate, eat.
That's Lemmy.
That was my last
That's
one.
Whatever though. I actually remember going and seeing you at the terminal. And I was yelling at you and you're like, hey, who's this asshole?
Yeah, probably.
Isn't it a small world?
It's a small world. The punk scene here is not that big. Oh, my back.
That was the next thing I want to get into. Talk about Vancouver Island. You've been playing in bands since early mid-2000s. You go back farther than Mickey. You know, I hate to call it the Grays, but that's the way it is.
I'm 40, so I hope so.
Have you noticed any significant changes in the Vancouver Island punk rock scene?
I feel like it's getting better.
It gets better and worse.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it was really good back in the day with like.
It goes through waves.
Yeah. I feel like we're doing good right now. There's more
I
bands.
feel like we do better than when I was 20.
Yeah. I feel like we're doing good right
When
now.
I was 20, no one gave a shit.
Like punk is also at like an all-time low for like mainstream people's interests, but like at the same time, like our underground scene's doing better than I remember it doing.
No, because in 2018 I moved out to Tofino and I expected a lot of folk bands with congas and it was all hip hop. And I was like, the fuck is going on here?
Well,
which is the way the world is. But
Everybody wants that Drake dick. You know what I mean?
it wasn't that
I don't
impressive.
want
I
that.
saw it, you know.
I don't get
You
it.
Googled it, right?
So many people like that Moni kind of like, oh, it's all about the money, and I'm so depressed.
Well, go get a job.
I feel like rap's like really influenced by all the worst parts of Tom DeLonge.
I think it's
That's right.
a lot of Call of Duties involved.
I feel honestly, I feel like Drake kind of sounds like a really bad Tom DeLonge.
I think it's just a lot of Call of Duty. Too much Call of Duty. Everybody's hard these days.
With any of your bands beforehand, did you ever tour extensively? Did you ever get out of the province?
The Drunken
Not
Idiots
really,
did.
but what he did.
The Drunken Idiots had 5 tours. We went to Alberta 4 times, then we went to Manitoba.
Alberta hardly counts as far as
And we went to Manitoba once.
But the Canadian tour is very difficult and
They were
not
they were a
rewarding.
2-week tour. They went
Like,
around.
there's
We
not
went
a lot
around in the circle. So out of 2 weeks, we only had 2 days off.
Where do you play in the middle of Canada other than Winnipeg?
There's nothing between Alberta and Manitoba.
In the prairies.
Oh,
We
yeah.
played in
We
Regina.
love punk
We
rock
played
in
in
the
Regina, and
prairies.
it was the worst show we've ever played.
Regina was fucking.
Yeah,
Ryan,
we played
Ryan,
in-
Ryan
you can
Reynolds
drive
shows
through all
up.
that in 2 hours. I mean, it's flat.
Hey, there's Derry!
We played in
There's our drummer over there.
Prince George.
He's in the band too.
Prince George Drunken Idiots had a good calling.
Oh yeah.
And in Edmonton and Calgary,
There's 4
we
of
played
us,
at Burns
but
quite a
he's
few
one
times.
You keep time. You're easily a 1-4.
1/4? Is that safe? Is there even that's a fraction?
1/4 timing. Come on, that's the next song. Can you play 1/4 timing?
I can play old timey.
Again, as far as the West Coast is home to some of Canada's biggest punk rock names, being Joey Shithead and Creighton of Dayglow Abortions. You've had the
I'll drop
opportunity
with
to
Santa.
play with a
I'll
few
drop
of
that.
these people.
Oh yeah.
What do you like
break you.
in that regard? The West Coast, you said.
I haven't played with enough,
I
to
need
be
more
honest.
liquor.
But
This
some of
beer's
the
empty.
biggest bands are from here.
Yeah.
What does that contrast look like in your?
I mean, I feel like it's helpful because you get to play with these bands and open for them, and all their fans get to be exposed
I
to.
have beer in the
Like,
cartridge,
obviously,
too.
the biggest shows I've ever played are with Dayglows.
I'd expose your fans.
You know, and that's probably not going to change. I'd love to play with. It's a shame that Try died before we got to play with them.
Yeah.
I really.
Drunken Idiots open for SNFU. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, Cheap Pig, yeah.
That's right.
He just wants to rob his achievements.
No, that's all.
It's like I can solo guitar too. I'm like, that's
Sean just wants to speedrun being the worst podcast guest.
You guys don't care about my history. You guys don't care.
But yeah, no, it's a real. I'd love to play with Dead Bob too, and Joey Shithead. But yeah, I played with Dayglows.
Swedish, barely know her.
We've only played with Dayglows once, right? I played with Dayglows a bunch though, but yeah, no, playing with Dayglows is always just such a. It's just so rad. This always such a good. They bring out like the people that want to party.
I thought you guys were playing with Dead Bob. Is that Ryland's band?
Yeah, that must be Ryland. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no.
That makes sense. Yeah.
No kids.
Yeah. Which because like we're the post punk band. We're the post punk band. We should. I feel like if anything, we should get to play with Dead Bob because we're weird and post punky. But you know what? That's just whatever. I'm not sour about it or anything.
Yeah, you're pop punk.
We're pop punk. Yeah, we're pop punk. Pooh Boys are going to be on the radio waves.
Well, you brought up Tom DeLonge earlier,
Yeah.
and I see a heavy resemblance in the vocal
influence.
approach.
The influence is really there. Yeah.
Well, I feel like there's a bigger relationship between Drake and Tom DeLonge than me and Tom DeLonge.
You can really hear like Yellow Card is a big fucking. They really.
Okay, that being said, like we want a saxophone player. Saxophone players out there, you want to be in a punk band?
Stop punk, let's go.
Saxophonist.
Saxophonist. You don't even have to be very good. As long as you can go and like play some fucked up shit that sounds bad.
I don't-
Boom, bad shit. Boom, that's our sound. We love it bad.
Yeah.
Just a honk and a screech.
Well, listen to our solos. I mean,
You don't even have to listen to our music. If this is any fucking.
just look at us.
Yeah, if this is any indication of what our band is like, this is a good representation.
Ah!
When it comes to recording, what is your approach? How
My approach is to hire a guy that takes fucking 3 years to finish, so you never put anything out, and he just keeps polishing.
Now this sounds personal. Are you in the midst of something?
So we're in the
that's
midst.
being recorded?
We're in the midst of doing 2 recordings right now.
Okay.
So we're doing a recording with James Cassidy, who did Gutter Blues, which sounds really fucking professional and amazing, and he's super good. And he's got some personal stuff going on, so that's kind of a jape. But and we're also doing a recording with Mike, where we're doing a more live approach to it, where we're not using a metronome, we're not editing. We're just kind of fucking putting it out there. So we're gonna have 2 recordings coming up very soon, 2 different styles. One where it's like more polished radio sound, and the other is just like a more raw sound. So the raw one will probably come out first.
That's fair. What do you think is the more genuine approach, the live or the like? What do you want this?
I
band
kind of
sound
like-
to be known
This yours?
I like recordings to sound like recordings. And I like live shows to sound live.
Yeah.
Completely different things. Like the live show's very raw, and I like to have a recording that sounds not like a live band. Like something that you can go, put your headphones on, and it's like a whole stereo, like it's like a painting you're listening to. It can be very different than lots of different layers that aren't there live, lots of different effects. Lots of different studio magic that kind of gives it an extra thing. I like the 2 different approaches, to be honest.
When those recordings are finished and released, do you see CDs? Is there a potential vinyl?
I would love to
Tapes?
do vinyl, to be honest. Everyone's pushing me to do like tapes, and I'm like, I remember tapes when I was younger, and tapes went out, but apparently tapes have come back. I don't know anyone that listens to tapes, but all the young people are telling me to do it, so I'll probably do it.
All the kids.
But yeah,
Just do like a small batch.
but I would really love to do like a vinyl with the big album art, you get it, you open it up, it's a fucking booklet, it's huge, you're like, oh, like I'd love to do that, because that's what I think really, like people are, there's Spotify, and then there's like collectors. And collectors are gonna go out and buy your record for that shit.
For sure.
And then the rest of them are just gonna listen to you on Spotify, and that's fucking cool too. But like CDs and tapes to me are just not that neat. Where the big vinyl, like that big album art, it's like a painting. You know what I mean?
Have you guys played Mainland?
No.
We have a show.
April 13th at Bullies in New Westminster. We got the most stacked up lineup. We got Media Slaves. We got fucking Terminal City Rats. We got fucking Chronic Fatigue. Yeah, that show's gonna be late as fuck. So we're going out there and we're going to do it with a bang.
We have Carl Longstaff.
We have Carl Longstaff opening from the Nanaimo. Carl Longstaff's also on the bill. Carl Longstaff's first. Come and say hi. Come and look at it.
Yeah.
Pretty face. Pretty
If you're
face.
tired of getting the shaft, vote Longstaff.
Staff.
What are you
New
guys
West. New West. We're doing a podcast. New West. We're gonna kill it.
Any of the past bands? Did you play on mainland?
Nectar played in Vancouver a couple times.
What would be that if you could find one major difference between the island and mainland? What would that be?
Well, I feel like more people are gonna be at your show on the mainland unless your show's fucking kind of buggered. When Nectar played, none of them were very good, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're gonna do good with this band though. I don't.
This project's way different.
Well,
It's
I
a-
was
it's
like
a-
15 or 16 when I was in Nectar. I didn't know what was going on. A 40-year-old man now.
You're all fucking a seasoned vet.
Oh, with a hurt back.
Yeah, you fucking really went all in.
It's
well.
the best band I've ever been in. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So from here, where's the next show?
Cumberland, 23rd, Danger
March
Box.
23rd.
March 23rd. Fucking Danger Box. Fucking Knife Manual. Fucking.
Dead Rights, I think.
No, not Dead
not
Rights.
Dead Rights, no.
Season and Sidewinder. And fucking. What's that stupid band called again? Monkey Pillow?
Gorilla Flip.
I'm just joking. I know the name of the band. I just want to make fun of Emilio.
You. Stop it.
Manilio's band, Monkey Banana Peel, is going to be playing too. No, but we got Danger Box and we got Knife Manual. So like fucking that, like those two on their own are fucking
That's
sick as
all
fuck.
ages.
No, Danger Box are some rad lads.
Oh yeah,
Golden Tamarind.
oh yeah. Me and Finnegan go way back to when he was a tadpole. And I scooped him out of a.
Are you his father?
I scooped Finnegan out of a punk rock tadpole. I was like, this kid fucking rocks, and I scooped him out, and he fucking turned into a fucking killer fucking pop punk frog, and was just like, yeah, and I was like, he has proceeded to the creator, and he has become a truer form of myself. Yeah, look out for Finnegan. He's coming your way.
Am I right?
You talked about with like Danger Box and bands on the island.
Mm-hmm.
You play with some of the same bands over and over again.
Yeah, a little bit.
Were
The
there
good ones.
Were there any bands back in the day that maybe even with older bands you looked at like, holy shit, they're incredible and they've completely dissipated and fallen apart and are no longer existent?
Well, like, yeah.
That's gotta
I
happen.
don't want to, like, it's not their fault, but like,
No, fuck them, it's their fault.
but definitely fucking, Unlabeled is like a fucking rad band that doesn't play anymore because one of their members is like, he's got some medical issues.
Is he a bass player? Because I could play bass for them.
Well, that's kind of the thing where I'm like, why don't you just replace him?
I know. I'm trying to get out of this band. So, if you guys,
I mean, they're
are
better.
Jesse,
Jesse.
my dude, this is a call out.
No, but
Your boy.
they're just so loyal to their boy. They don't want to fucking start another.
Joking.
They don't want to replace him.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, no, Unlabeled was sick as fuck.
Yeah,
For sure. Unlabeled is a really good band.
they're fucking awesome.
Are there any of your old bands that you wish, just for the camaraderie you had, a reunion for?
Definitely. Yep. Hate the Rich. I would love because fucking Stu, our drummer, is currently
Stu Dog!
He's the drummer for Dead Rights. And
We
they're
love
fucking
Stu
killing
Dog.
it. And I still love that guy. I love playing shows with him because I get to see him because he lives in Victoria. So, and then yeah, Adam was our guitar player / other singer, and he's in a band called Skin Crawl right now. I haven't heard them yet, but yeah, they're fucking. I've heard like recordings of them and they're kicking ass. And yeah, we've been in talks of like putting on a show with SmashTV, Dead Rights, and Skin Crawl, and maybe just fucking.
I mean, no one's
At
told
the
me.
end, doing it. Yeah, well,
You're just a singer.
you're finding out now. And maybe doing like a quick little like half to fucking Hate the Rich set to open or whatever. It'd be fun.
Alright, now, back to old bands. You brought up Old Limp Dicks. There's a big long story there. Kyle too. Now, when I started booking house shows here, Old Limp Dicks were one of the first ones I booked, and there was a ton of people messaging me saying you shouldn't do that. That's a huge problematic thing. And my whole stance was, if you're not
I didn't mean to shit talk you, Trevor, but I guess that's where we're going because you've just built up that reputation.
I've brought this up. I've told Trevor I would love to get you on the podcast and fucking hash this shit out because I
You need to take some breaks and smoke a little meth.
Here he comes now.
I'm kind of new to the island, and it was just like, you know, I don't know the scene personally by people, but it was like
don't wanna
a
just sit
lot
here
of
and
people have a
badmouth him.
problem with this guy. I never saw it. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But Old Limp Dicks were
Let's
super
just
cool.
say that fucking drugs fucking make people do bad shit that they wouldn't do normally.
Okay, that's
That's what I have to
That's
say.
your professional stance.
Yes, that's my professional statement on Trevor and the Olympics. We had fun in the Olympics. We did some cool shit. His Chai Pig Memorial show out in Bowser was magnificent.
I wonder why.
It was very, very good. But yeah, no, he's done some shady shit, but always, you know, when he's high or whatever, so, you know, whatever. I don't want to talk anybody, but, you know, maybe if he got clean,
This isn't being recorded, is it?
It's
If he
just
got-
between us.
Yeah.
If he got
This is on
clean,
record.
if he got clean, like everyone would probably walk in the back with open arms. But like, you know, I don't know. It's hard to love someone that is in the grips of addiction.
Anybody that's pasting fake teeth over advertisements and sucking back egg yolks, there's room for in my life, you know? That's the way I
Oh,
look
the
at
egg
it.
shit. Yeah, I forgot all about the egg. Yolk TV.
How do you forget? That's his only good quality.
Beat some of the other ones, yeah. So yeah, Governor Blues and Boss were actually supposed to be Old Limp Dick songs.
Okay.
So we actually play a couple songs that were supposed to be Old Limp Dick songs. But they weren't written by Trevor. They were written by James Cassidy, who was in Old Limp Dicks at the time.
Okay.
What else needs to be taken away from here?
I'm not sure. Everything. Drums.
Couch.
Let's grab some of the furniture while you're at.
TV.
I'm not sure. I'll
Pick
have
this up, let's go.
to fucking come out there.
Can you take a look? Just
Yeah, in a couple of minutes. We're probably almost done.
You had mentioned that your old band played in Port Alberni. As far as you, what was the connection to Port Alberni?
Probably
Is
like
there one or what? Because it seems like the island has two
I'm doing a
cities and a
podcast.
ton of small towns. So everything else is kind of extra, you know?
My first ever band I was in, Therapeutic Gum Shop, we played our first ever show
It's coming, it's
at
coming.
a house party in Port Alberni. I can't remember their names, but it was like with Ouroboros. I don't know if that rings a bell. I don't know if that was fucking 10 years ago.
I've
Like a bunch
been
of
here 3 years.
and it was super cool. So I have a fond place in my heart for this town.
And what was your feeling with Port Alberni?
Tonight was great.
No, in general, before tonight.
Oh,
Like, fuck, he
when you're
fucking
looking
hates
at
it.
places
He
to
hates
tour,
I played
is that where we're going?
I played Port Alberni, the Rainbow Room, once with a band called Hexenbane, and there was like one person here.
Oh yeah, Nanaimo Doomy.
Yeah,
Band, yeah, I know.
yeah, they're still around.
Yeah, yeah.
They replaced me with a better bass player, so check out Hexenbane. They're good when they play. All right, I gotta go.
All right.
Do you have any more questions you have for me?
I think that
Okay.
covers it then.
Yeah, they're fucking. I'm trying to tell them that we're doing these. Like, oh, you're a rock star. I'm like, I'm here to film on this. This guy came up.
All right, hold on. I mean, we already know Mickey's down with the piss. What about you?
Yeah.
A little.
I mean, I did let a gay dude pee on me once. I was high on meth, and it wasn't terrible. Come on.
This is how I
The
end.
truth finally comes out.
This is the last question I ask for every episode of the podcast. As a touring band member, what is your absolute worst venue bathroom experience?
Oh shit! I mean, pretty much any
Narrows it down.
time before I play, it's like I get the Hershey squirts, like I get the nervous shits, you know. So it's like right before we have to It did happen tonight, so maybe I'm getting into like this, or maybe it's because I feel so familiar here, because it was like nostalgic. But normally, like I'm like fucking, I'm fucking pissing out my ass right before I have to go on stage. So
You're not only dreaded on the head.
yeah, right. So for me, it's a singular personal experience. I don't know if I have any bad bathroom experiences involving other people.
All right, you, before you go here, as far as touring, this is the final question of every podcast. Bad touring bathroom experience. What is the worst venue bathroom experience you've ever been succumbed to?
I mean, Nectar played at the Cobalt once,
gonna be a
back
better
in
story.
like 2002, back when the Cobalt
Back when shit was shit.
literally had broken glass all over their floor. And yeah, no, their bathroom just had like shit everywhere. Like I just walked in and I went, okay, and I just walked out and went and peed in the alleyway. Because it just wasn't a place where you'd pee. It was just like a monument of filth and decay. It was strange. But the Cobalt back then, they had glass all over their floor.
The Cobalt?
Yeah, the Cobalt in Vancouver. It was like the extreme, like Wendy 13 and shit like that. Like it was the extreme punk bar. Like, you know, like there were fights there like every night.
Well, that's because you kept starting them.
I was like 17 when I played there.
I know.
I was scared. I was playing there and I was like doing some like Blink 182, like,
Why you
ooh,
fucking
baby,
starting
you left
fights
me
when you're
tonight. And like, oh. And like, yeah, no, I was scared for my life.
How's your back?
That feels great.
Yeah.
It's time to do a whole lot of heroin. No, I'm just kidding.